You're listening to 107.3 FM, the Minutemen Talk Radio Show.
They're like huge seed pods.
With CT Ron,
Darling.
the Dark Frenchman Steve,
Oh, oui.
and the Squid. On the Planet X Network, Arizona's independent political talk show.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? You're listening to the Minutemen Podcast on 107.3 FM. I'm your host, CT Rob, and we got a full panel today with CT Steve. What's up? With the Squid. And with Cody Co. Hey, everybody. And I got a lot of shout-outs today. I got Olaf Whipper. I got Tris Baquar. I got our good Tucson correspondent, Matt. I got Last Civilized Yank. Extremist Leftist Botus. I got Baba Dees. I got Hillary Jones, Hans Penderson, Jane, Enrique Flores, Kathy Hay. Hey guys, thanks for being awesome Twitter followers. And we got an interesting show for you today. I mean, what the hell is going on with Alabama? Right?
Oh my God, right?
And we're going to be talking about more of that Russia on the Minutemen. Alright, so the music cut out a little bit early, but who cares, right? Alright.
It works.
What's going on, everybody?
Hey, guess what, guys? The tide has finally came, right?
What tide are you talking about?
We're talking about the tide of the wave of everything that's happened in 2017 as far as YouTube is having their rewind special, guys. That's what I'm talking about. Forget the Trump scandal.
Yeah, right.
Having their what? No. Of course, we're talking about Trump and the whole thing with the investigation going on with Mueller and Flynn.
Yeah. Let me say we were right about that too. We actually tweeted that out today. I tweeted all of our episodes out on our Twitter page, so if anybody wants to see any of that, all of our coverage of the Russia scandal, you can see that. As we all know, we were talking about it first here on this show.
More than once.
More than once.
Yes.
More than once. But let's get started today with a little bit of locker room talk. Weird. Let's try that again. There we are.
that can't not be funny. I mean, that sound effect right there. Come on, the Wilhelm scream, or whatever the hell. It is too funny.
Yeah. All right. Oh, my computer's talking. Anyway. All right. So the question I have today on Locker Room Talk is, what happened to the women that just like to cheat just because they were married guys, huh? Whatever happened to those women, guys? Let me ask you. We're going to go around the panel. I want to know right now because I got a interesting report here that talks about why men and women cheat, and it's actually very interesting. We both cheat, I guess, in different ways. But I want to go around the panel here and say, what happened to the girls that just wanted to cheat, or even guys, for that matter, that just wanted to cheat? Well, I do know plenty of guys that just like to sleep with married women. But right now, I think there's a decline on the women who want to sleep with the married guys. I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think you're right.
Well, what do you know?
I know. We're gonna go to Billy about this. I mean, let's go down to
Squid.
Squid. Let's start with you though. Like you went on it. Why do you think so?
The women don't want to sleep with married men now?
It's not that they don't want to sleep with married men. They just don't want to sleep with you, Squid.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
yeah, no, I don't know, man. I think it's just the whole thing with the world of the whole uprising with these activists coming out. They have that thing called the slut walk now.
What?
Yeah, where they have like people coming out saying like women shouldn't be objectified. You know, it's the whole feminist spread that's going out, and now there's a thing called the slut walk where they kind of walk around topless and they're like, well, we can do this because it's their bodies kind of thing. But if it was a guy with their scrotum out, there would be like 50 police officers jumping on them saying like, you're now a child molester.
So funny. I mean, everybody always wants to see women's breasts, but what about guys' penises?
I know,
seriously.
dude. I mean,
They're gross and ugly and
like
they're all
underwears,
different.
bro.
These
Like,
breasts are, somewhat similar on all forms. So they're at least around,
Depending on what age you're, looking at.
Yeah, that is true.
But I would say definitely.
Unless you're Roy Moore. Ooh. Wait, we'll get more into that a little later.
But yeah, I don't know, man. It's just a little weird. I would think we would all agree where it's kind of a two-sided thing on both sexes. I'm not just talking about women here, but both things where they kind of they're hypocritical in the fact where it's like, oh, here's my rights. I want to be, whatever at this point, and it's my body. But then again, they don't want to be objectified as like the side chick or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. What happened? What's it like to be the side chick? What about you, Cody? What do you think? You got a grin on your face over there.
Oh, all right. Before I go into details about my past. For the
don't spread the dirty details here.
No kidding. I think the main reason why
Alright, guys, this is the Illuminati stopping discussion.
There we go. Go ahead, Cody.
I think a lot of people now, like millennials now, we're all getting older. They're in 20s, anywhere between high and mid, low, and all that. A lot of the values are changing, and so we feel like all the dating sites, a lot of people are kind of more in the open relationships. I know someone who's currently is married, and the wife is able to actually sleep around with any guy she wants, and it's totally okay. Like the relationship started, this is what we want. This is
he likes to wear the horns of a couple.
Apparently, and but it's all about a lot of the older generation sticks. A lot of people feel like, oh, my partner's not giving me the emotional need, but this person is.
Bring that up, actually.
Or it's like, oh, I love you, but I'm not attracted to you anymore. Whereas this person, I don't love so and so, but I'm more attracted to their body. So it's a big difference. Saying what you want to see. But where the married women that want to see around, go to Denny's. A lot of waitresses there are pretty open-minded for everything.
Right? Denny's waitresses. There you go. That's the reason to go late at night. So let me. So this actually article comes from Insider. So let me give you guys this. So a company surveyed men and women to find out the differences in how and why they cheat. Men tend to cheat for more physical reasons, and women tend to cheat for more emotional ones, according to the survey. The same survey suggests that women are more likely to emotionally cheat, and men surveyed are slightly more likely to engage in physical acts and not consider it cheating. Like, oh, baby, come on. It was just a tip. It was just a tip, baby. It was just a tip.
That's true, though. I mean, I would say, yeah. I'm not even gonna lie.
Does that make sense to you?
It does. I mean, people. If you're a guy, Like, if you're gonna cheat, it's because, like, well, I wouldn't say that. Like, there's many reasons, because it could be an emotional reason for a man too. But like, it probably would be like first glance, like, yeah, she's hot. What if? And then you try it, right? And then after that, if it doesn't work out with the chick, you know what I mean? Then you kind of just go like, well, I'm going back to my wife or girlfriend or something like that. It's like an emotional attachment.
Well, one of the answers was with women, they felt their partners had stopped giving them attention they needed. I know, right? We're all guys. But, I understand the guy part, the whole guy is the physical
but the
part.
The woman part about it only being emotionally?
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah, I actually do believe that. I do.
I think the majority for it.
There's actually a category of guys for that. Case in point, squid.
What do you want me, man?
You're just most caring out of all of it.
Yes, you're the guy that cares the most. You're the guy that puts in the time to listen.
And that's true.
Just kidding. We're not all gross, horrendous, misogynistic pigs here.
Right.
This is just locker room talk. So.
With this, I can't understand that, because, after a while, with being in a marriage or being even in a relationship, you just get into this zone and this funk where communication kind of slides and both parties kind of just, their minds start to wonder, what if I cheated? What if I go off and find somebody else?
They don't wonder it. They think about
it. There are people who wonder it. I've done it before.
Yeah, you've done it before?
I've thought about it.
I don't believe it. On yourself?
His right hand's like, what the hell?
Yeah, it's like, you leave me for lefty?
Oh my god.
I don't know why.
Oh my god.
The same. Oh, sorry, man. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No. I was just agreeing with the whole fact about. Yeah, I would say so. People, there's this thing called the 7-year itch. We kind of all know that.
Oh, that's a great movie, first of all.
I know, right? Yeah, but it's a real thing. After 7 years, you kind of have that itch of trying to go after people. But I don't even think it's 7 years. It could be 3 years. It could be like a year. It could be 6 months. It could be any time. If you're not feeling it with your partner, but you still want to be emotionally attached to that person, but you just want to like, go.
What about the natural attraction? I'm sure. I mean, many of us here, we believe in science. I know we do here. I mean, have you guys ever heard the idea that when you actually have sex with a woman, you actually lose attraction for them, or impregnate a woman, you lose the attraction? So that's why humans. They say humans aren't meant to be married forever. We're not meant to be paired forever because chemically we lose interest right after we hit it and quit it.
Yeah. They said it was like something that has to deal with like pheromones, right? And that's the whole thing of the attraction. Like you're attracted to that person. It's like an animal. You know what I mean? Like
I mean, you and me ain't none but mammals.
Right. I mean, dude, it's straight up beast mode in the bedroom, right? But then after you're done, it's kind of like, all right, I'm done. It's like an animal. They walk away from their spouses, and then they usually leave the females to tend to the children. But for a guy, yeah, man, I mean, like,
Republicans call that the good old days.
Right. I mean, Rob, how many times? I mean, have you done that? Where
hit a woman over the head and drag her to my cave? Plenty of times.
Hit him and quit him, and you're moving on to the next one. You know what I mean? No. It's one of those things. You do it. I mean, girls do it too.
Girls do it too.
It's a
yeah.
natural thing where it happens.
I just hate when people act like they don't do it.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! You guys are so.
What are you doing in the club in the first place? Right.
Well, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, it doesn't really help, like, nowadays, like, Tinder, all the dating apps where they're just specifically designed just for sex, and that's it.
It's funny. Clothing, too. I mean, girls, the clothing girls wear at work sometimes, either. It's like, God, you chum in the water that much, baby?
Yeah,
what do you expect when you get sharks?
Well, at the same time, you can just flip it around. Like, say, very masculine guy is wearing a very tight shirt.
You chum in the water, too.
Hey, you know, wearing a very tight shirt, showing off all his muscles, and girls like, holy shit, look how good that thing. Especially he was wearing tight compression shorts, showing off his goods.
Showing off his,
right?
Yeah, his moose knuckles.
Both ways. It's not just one part.
That's going to be the next locker room talk discussion. How come the moose knuckle is considered not hot, but the camel toe is?
Oh my god.
But that's going to be safe for next show. So let's move on a little bit more with the sex talk, I guess.
Right.
This is going to be the end of locker room talk, but we're going to get into more of the politics. So, Democrats officially call on Senator Al Frankin to resign amid mounting sexual harassment allegations. Now, I don't know what the hell is going on with the Democratic Party. I mean, you tell me at this point. I mean, you got Roy Moore, who's about to win the Alabama seat.
He's on the cusp.
And they are calling for Al Franklin to step down. Not only that, but they, I don't know if you guys heard, before we actually came in the studio today, before the show even got started, they actually voted to not impeach Donald Trump, actually. The resolution was kicked down. I believe it was 58 Democrats voted to impeach him, but that was about it. Everybody else, it was like a 300 vote to 58 or something like that.
Wow.
I don't have the exact numbers, But so they voted to keep, the impeachment to the House, to kick it down, but yet now they're all calling for Al Franklin to resign, or Al Franklin to resign.
So what's their end game to their...
The Democrats?
Yeah, what do they...
I think the Democrats' end game is to just fuck up their own party so much to where people just leave, and all they have to do is please their donors. I mean, I'm sorry, I just don't know what else they would do.
Are they kamikazing at this? I don't even think so. It just seems like...
And now he's going to hold a press conference tomorrow. Is that right, Squid? That's what you were saying when you came in, yeah.
Morning, he's going to hold a press conference on what's going to happen. And you know what? I just can't believe they pressured him this much that he actually has to hold a press conference, because if you remember a couple of weeks ago he said he wanted to hold a special investigation against them about these charges.
What the hell are you doing?
Sorry, that clip makes me laugh.
Still though, what the hell are you doing, Democrats?
They're just shooting themselves in the foot again.
No, they really are. And, even though I do think he should resign, but still, I seen the picture too. Yeah. I mean, we all saw the picture of him grabbing. I mean, that's a full-fledged grab. I mean,
that was a flick, bro. That was a full. He had
that picture. I'm sorry, man. Why would you take that picture? No,
It was a joke picture. That's what it was meant to be.
She was passed out.
I know.
Okay, for those of you who don't know what Al Franken did, so it looks like he's on a plane, obviously, and there's a female soldier passed out, buckled up into the plane, and he is literally with both hands pressing his hand against her breast. That's what he's doing. He's he's copping a feel. And then he's looking at the camera smiling, and I'm like, dude, even Roy Moore knew I just send letters, man.
Yeah, I know, bro. It's, oh my gosh. It's, wow. I mean, alright, like you said, why would you take that picture and stare at the camera? It's like, you can't deny that it's not you, so you clearly did.
Yeah, I don't,
But the Democratic Party, though.
Yeah, they're not helping the situation at all. I mean, they might as well be the Republicans at this point.
Yeah, they're basically doing their own smear jobs. It's ridiculous.
I mean, not only that, but as soon as this happened, you know, they wanted to throw him into the ethics committee. Yeah, the ethics committee started to review everything, which is insane, because I'm like, oh, okay, so the guy who's on tape saying I grabbed him by the pussy, it's like, yeah, that's totally ethical, but, you know, Al Franken's got to step down. And I'm not saying he shouldn't. I'm not making any lie. I'm not trying to defend what he did in any way. I'm just simply pointing out the hypocrisy like we do every day on this show. I mean, because this show is built upon the hypocrisy of the left and the right at this point. I mean, that's why if you're listening to us, you know that it is hilarious to listen to this show, because the hypocrisy is just hands down. It's hands down just hilarious.
It's just ridiculous at this point. They're just giving away their closets are just, both of them are just open. And they just left it open. It seemed like Trump came, walked out, forgot to close the door.
But, you know, this kind of also goes into what we were talking about just a minute ago in locker room talk about the women and not wanting to be second class. This is also kind of a thing, too. This is also why I think that number is down, because, like, they're feeling more, obligated to tell about the sexual harassment. It's not as, some of these women, too, slept with people just because they needed to or to keep their jobs.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it happens. But, I mean, goodness.
So let's move into something a little more upbeat here before we get into Roy Moore. Let's move a little bit. We'll jump back into that. But I don't know if you guys heard, so something we touched back on last show was Jeff Sessions was looking to try to persecute medical marijuana patients by the end of the year. So, yeah, the Trump administration and Jeff Sessions are looking to crack down on marijuana as soon as they can. Now, this is actually really interesting. Jeff Sessions is being sued by a 12-year-old girl over Department of Justice medical marijuana policy. Basically, this is a mother whose 12-year-old daughter is, her name is Alexis Bortel. She's actually filed a lawsuit against Jeff Sessions and the Department of Justice, Drug Enforcement Administration, or DEA, over the assertion that the Controlled Substance Act is unconstitutional. That's what she's filing, and the reason she's doing this is because her child suffers from seizures, and she was getting the oil, the cannabinoid oil, which I might, for my listeners, so they know, does not get you high. It is a purely medical substance that is for children who have seizures, or just people who have seizures in general.
It's 100% true.
It's 100% medical. Now, they recently labeled it as a legal drug for no reason. The FDA, everything, the Department of Justice, all labeled it as a legal drug for no reason. It doesn't get you high. It's literally like putting soda on the list. It's a substance that you cannot get high off of. So that's why she's suing them. I mean, wasn't this expected? I mean, I think we kind of expected this on this show. I mean, we talked about how they were going to crack down on this. I mean, I believe I gave a huge rant about this, about how they're just going to let little kids have seizures, and this is a prime example right now. You have these old, dinosaur-ass politicians like Jeff Sessions, who, it makes me laugh because you hear so many people like, oh, states' rights, alt-right and bullshit saying, yeah, states' rights, yeah, but, it's like, oh, but you can't fucking smoke marijuana. Don't put marijuana in your body.
Or anything related to marijuana that isn't marijuana.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. What do you think about that, Cody?
Well, it's cheaper, first of all, so they're looking at this, we're not going to get any profit from it, so therefore, why should we care? Let's take it away and make them pay for stuff that's going to be a lot more expensive, they're barely be able to afford, and that way we can make a profit off it.
Yep.
They're just looking for what's going to get them the most money, and
synthetic.
That's what they're doing.
Synthetic weed. It's so gross, and, I think, I've actually run into this quite a bit. A lot of people don't know how you even make spice, how spice is even made. I mean, spice is actually made with a lot of that floral crap, first of all, that you get at all those, I don't even know, what kind of those organic stores or whatever.
Yeah.
And then acetate is the other ingredient, and then it's synthetic THC that you buy online. And that's all mixed together, and that's spice. That's literally all that's made from.
Lovely.
Right? And, and that's something they sell to people. Bath salts, that's like, what is it, heroin, acid, Coke all mixed into one, and yeah, and they want to sell that to people.
That's less deadly.
That's less deadly. That's less deadly, you know.
Actually, something that would kill you within minutes. You know what I mean?
It doesn't kill you in minutes. It makes you eat your friend's face off. Don't you know
this?
this?
Turns you into a zombie.
Turns you into a zombie. It's a zombie drug.
It is.
So ridiculous. I've said on the show before.
You think that zombie thing was... No, it was not ridiculous. That was scary. That was the start of the zombie apocalypse.
No, not that.
The guy was butt naked, eating the man's face like a thing of chicken.
The thing happened in Florida, too, man.
I know. And then, dude, we had, like, I don't know if anybody remembers, there was a string of cases that happened that year of people eating each other.
There was like a string of bath salts.
It was like a trend, man.
Yeah, there was that guy, and there was another guy.
There was a woman I know that ate her child, and it was crazy. I don't know how you do that, man. I mean,
bath salts, apparently.
The Dahmer effect right there.
It's really, yeah, but you see the effects on that. That's why I just said, going back to it, it's so stupid. I've said on the show before when we've had these rants about marijuana that I actively am not a marijuana user. I never have, but I'm not against it. So it's that thing where it's like they fear it because they can't tax it like we've said.
Yeah, that's the only reason they fear it.
They can't profit off of it.
Only reason.
They're trying to destroy it any way they can, and they can't, and they have not, and they will not. And they just won't get over that fact, which is why I've said before that their arguments hasn't changed. They're just scared about it. They're just like, no, there's facts, and there's been proven facts of saying, like, no, it does not harm the human body in any way. It harms the human body in no way, shape, or form. Yet they still
just leads to junk food, man. That's all it really leads to.
Being lazy and just being lackadaisical, but nothing about the behind the wheel effect about whether or not it was it's worse than alcohol. Which no, actually, alcohol and all substances is even worse than marijuana. As a matter of fact, it's number one.
See, some people don't believe that. Some people think that's absolutely not true.
Crazy.
Some people think alcohol is not even that bad of a thing. People actually think it's...
Rehab was made for alcoholism first.
I thought that was religion. Whoa, right. Hey, no, I'm serious. Those AA, man, you gotta it's literally about you. First, you must believe in a God and believe that you have no power over yourself, that you must submit yourself to that higher power. That is literally
Step
AA.
1, submission. Step 2, subscribe to a religion.
I mean, you guys, I don't know about you guys, but I know people that still go to AA even though they're done with their treatments.
Oh, really?
Yes, I know people that go, just because it's a form of therapy for them, like, to go to...
It is.
And I totally believe that.
Yeah, I mean, to each their own, man. Go ahead, Squid.
Well, I want to go back and touch on this spice subject again, because I don't know if you've seen overseas, but spice is huge over there, but all these kids that are using spice, like England,
really?
I think Japan or China, like, if these kids are smoking this, all of a sudden, like, they turn into zombies and they just, like, they hunch over, standing up.
I don't know if that's spice. I think you're thinking of something else.
They say these kids are smoking spice and they're just going...
I heard about Flocka. Now, Flocka is something different.
Flocka just kills your brain cells.
Flocka turns you literally into a raging zombie.
Yeah. It's killing your brain cells rapidly.
Have you never heard of Flocka?
No.
Oh, man, you gotta look at some of the videos on Flocka, dude. Yeah, for those people who don't know Flocka, man, Flocka turns you into a zombie. I mean, you see people, like, running full sprint into cars. Car windows, like, diving through the cars.
And smashing up their bodies and getting out like nothing.
I seen one, though. It's like PCP almost. Like, it's almost exactly like PCP.
Yeah.
Wow. But man, I seen a video once and I almost died. It was a guy on Flocka, right? And he's in a parking garage, right? And he's just like, just running, and just goes like through the car, and you just see this car like 3 cars down just go boom and just like take off out of there, dude. Cause it's like, it made me think, like, first of all, who is sitting in that parking garage that late at night? And you're probably doing some bad shit yourself, probably.
Probably. And then you saw some other dude, like,
you just imagine you're sitting there, man. You just like, and you just see this guy go diving through a car like Superman. I mean, I don't know about you.
I don't need
my initial reaction would be like, "I'm gonna get the fuck out of here." like, dude, screw that.
I know.
Man.
Yeah. See, that's crazy. And we have all of that going out. All of those these real life phantom drugs that they were apparently like, oh, this is the gateway drug. Well, you actually have worse drugs out there that are killing people and doing.
And they're not even. And they call marijuana. That's such a great point you just brought up. They always call marijuana the gateway drug. Yet they're creating these other drugs that will kill you the first time you use them.
All right. You know what? You know what's weird? I'm gonna bring something up. Right. One of my favorite games, Oblivion. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You know the whole portal to the next world.
Yeah.
Are you going to yell and scream at the actual portal to the alternate universe? Or are you going to actually tackle what's wrong inside that portal? It's like, you know what? I'm going to destroy the portal because that's going to destroy all the other drugs. Like, no, it's not. You're an idiot. Just actually kill what's going on first. That's harming other people. Other than just saying, I'm going to attack the source that is may or may not be a phantom drug to the other people. May not be a gateway for other people. Because I know people that are like, no, I usually just smoke marijuana and I'm done. Like a cigarette.
So what you're saying is portals are real. I was gonna say there's a house for sale and what was it, Squid and Buckeye? There's one because since you're such a fan of portals, there's that ranch is for sale. It's going for like 20 million, right? Yeah, there we go.
5 million.
5 million. There we go. 5 million. The 2 portals guaranteed.
Yeah.
In and out. So
in and out.
I want to know if those portals are both into another dimension, or is it like one gateway's in and the other's out, or is it two different dimensions?
If I jump through this, will I go to hell or will I see myself?
I don't know. You're gonna try and you'll sit there with your sword and try to destroy it. Nerd. We were all thinking that. All my listeners right now are just going, "Oh my God, what a nerd!"
But seriously, are you gonna attack somebody eating pizza?
Yes.
Playing video games? Or are you gonna attack somebody who's jumping into car windows? Harming others or himself?
Speaking of taxes, let's move on a little bit. So let's just get started with one of our main topics today. What the hell is going on in Alabama? Now, okay, so I'm going to set this whole scenario up for you guys. So we got one candidate here that's been accused now multiple times and had the source has been backed up of sexual allegations against underage women, right? Now, so far, some of the defense I've heard is, well, we got to wait. These allegations may or may not be true. Even though Al Frankin has to step down, even though all these other Democrats got to step down, we have to question whether it is true about Roy Moore. But not only that, that's defense one. Defense two is the Republicans need this seat so he can vote on the tax plan. So that's why we must back him up, because the GOP now is starting to throw their weight behind him now that Trump is like, oh, support Roy Moore. Oh, support Moore, believe me, he's amazing, believe me.
Go get him.
He grabs him by the pussy, believe me. Wow. I mean, what the hell is going on? We're living in the fucking campaign. We really are. I mean, I'm waiting for one of these guys to punch a baby. And for them to still get still take home the fucking seat.
And I think that was another topic that we said on the show before. Actually, you brought that up. You were like, Trump can literally eat a baby, yeah, and everyone would be fine.
Everyone would be fine with it. They would actually justify some kind of reason for Trump eating that baby.
Did have a disease. So.
That baby, like I said, Donald Trump probably showing that baby love. That's how Donald Trump showed love. Many other people have different ways of showing love, but that's how Trump shows love. He eats the baby. That baby doesn't understand it, but he's getting more love than he'll ever get in life. Speaking of babies, I know we get off topic, and that's the whole point about some of this podcast. Have you guys ever seen that picture? I recently had to find it, so this is way off topic. We might as well put it on the late, the good, bad, and the weird here. So.
Oh God.
Alright, you are entering another dimension, a dimension of food, really disgusting food, because I'm going to tell you about this. Alright, so, I don't know if you guys ever type in, ever Google weird things, but have you guys ever typed in baby soup on Google? Well, what comes out is this dish, apparently, that's served in Asia, and let me just set it up for you before everyone freaks out and gets on their phones. the soup apparently has a fetus in it.
What?
You literally, sir, did you say delicious? You literally, look up these pictures. Look up these pictures. It is literally like a soup with a fetus in it.
God.
Now, this has been a hoax going on since I was in high school, and until recently, I actually I googled it and I checked it, and it turns out before everyone freaks out, it is in fact a hoax.
Okay.
But this is a hoax that has been going on for a long time, apparently. I mean, this has been going on since I was in school. That people believe that people really eat babies.
Well, I can't remember, I'm probably going to butcher it, but there was an old story back when I was in high school, I think back in the 1800s maybe, back when I want to say Ireland was having their famine, and a lot of people were wondering what to do with kids, how to eat, and a guy made a joke that was published in the newspapers and about, like, recipes or what to do with your kids. It's like, oh, you can eat them, sell them, get some extra money. It was a big joke going on, say, hey, this is a serious problem, we need to fix this. And so, but this has been going for almost 1,000 something plus years. It's something always been about that. People trying to make a joke but saying, hey, we're actually having a serious crisis here, what's going on, let's fix this, instead of, eat our babies, eat our children, season them with a bit of this and that, or selling them to people. This has been going on for years.
Wow. How to decrease the world population, so we just eat babies.
Man.
I just don't understand. You would assume Republicans would be up in the air, but oh my God, those Asians are eating fetuses. Look at them. Oh my God.
No,
they don't.
Like,
they don't.
Get some of that?
No, they don't care. They care about what goes on here in this country. America.
So
but all I gotta say is, is that why Asians always look so young? That's how they stay young forever. There you go. The response
that is so racistly funny. Sorry, but it was.
Yeah, my goodness.
They're just making light of that. Sorry.
But yeah, I mean, those. Wow. I mean, just just eat a baby.
Yeah, eat a baby. But sorry, back on topic now. So that's going to conclude that good, and bad, and the weird. But seriously, I mean, what the hell's going on? I mean, we literally made a joke recently about what's next, pedophilia. I mean, sorry, pedophilia, necrophilia. They're already doing pedophilia. Yeah. Necrophilia. Yeah. I mean, what's next? Seriously, necrophilia. I'm waiting for that candidate.
Do not put thoughts in her head, Rob.
And let's turn back the clock a little bit here. Let's talk about Noah Dyer for a second. Now, remember some of our panelists may not know, but Noah Dyer is and some of our listeners. Noah Dyer is actually the candidate running for governor right now, and he's the guy who disclosed all his sexual acts. He explained how he's still going to have sex with married women, and that every relationship he's in with a woman usually turns sexual. That's just how it is. He's an open and front, honest guy. Full transparency. I look at these guys, and I say, what the hell's wrong with him now? To these Republicans.
That's true.
That's what I'm saying.
That is so true.
I'm serious. I mean, when he was on that Daily Show clip,
they grilled him.
They grilled him, and they went around to the Capitol building asking people, would you vote for this guy? And until he brought up his old, yes, I've had sex with married women, they were like, oh, I'm not going to vote for you now. So what the hell is this? I'm calling every Republican out right now. What the hell is this? If you're an Arizonian Republican and you support Roy Moore, you should support Noah Dyer over Doug Ducey, because what the hell is this?
That's such a fantastic point, because Noah Dyer didn't do anything that's he did something that's morally wrong, sleeping with somebody who's married, but these guys are molesting people flat out.
But not just that. So I think the question is, we gotta tell Noah this. Maybe he should lie about everything. Maybe he should just be like, no, I did not have sex with that woman. Maybe then he'd get some traction.
I know, right?
People.
He'd get some votes like, really? He didn't? Well,
he did it. Oh, God.
He did? He said he did.
I mean, it kind of comes down to, I always tell people, I think some people like a little bit of dirt on their candidates. It's like, yeah, but this is just grime on this guy. Noah's some dirt on him, but this guy's Roy Moore is just grime.
No, but is that true, though? I mean, honestly, all the older politics that we all know, they had dirt on them. They have documentaries. They have full-length feature films about. Yeah,
but it was all hidden. You know what I mean? It was all hidden dirt until it comes out later. But now all this shit, because of the social media, because information goes so fast. I just don't understand.
That's what I mean. I think because it is because of social media why these allegations are coming out on these people. But yeah, I'm serious. If they had Twitter back in Nixon days, right? And the Watergate scandal came out.
I am not crook.
Dude, right? They'd be like deleting tweets. It'd be the same thing. I'm thinking they want their wholesome Republicans to be American. Yeah, right? It's like they like that. I really think that, Rob. I'm thinking they like that kind of subliminal thing where it's like, that just makes him an American. Who did nothing wrong. That's why they're making all these excuses, because they're like, well, it wasn't that bad, or let's wait till the facts come out. No, they secretly that's kind of like what we kind of grew up with a Nixon or a JFK, with all these people that had skeletons in their closets back then, but now you can't have skeletons in the closet.
Apparently, JFK killed his skeletons with poisonous enemas.
Right. Yeah.
If any of you do not know what that joke is about, look up Marilyn Monroe's death, because there is a conspiracy. Do you know what that's from?
Yeah, I know.
There we go. I'm glad that's not too far out there. I was a little worried. I was a little old.
I think that's a common knowledge now, apparently. So.
Yeah, but I still, as much as I like to throw around the conspiracy ball here, I really don't understand why. I just don't see how they're like, yes, she was killed with enemas. 3 of them, poison enemas. It's like they killed Marilyn Monroe by administering a poison enema.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just saying that out loud.
I know, it's like you don't even believe that.
It's just terrible.
So let's get into some more gist. First of all, too, there's a strategist by the name of Alex Castellanos, a veteran in the world of U.S. politics. He's actually given advice to GOP candidates, including George W. Bush and Mitt Romney, so you don't understand how good credible he can be. But he's actually saying that a Roy Moore win could trigger Donald Trump's impeachment.
Ooh.
Yes, because the president is out of his goddamn mind, basically.
Well, supporting him, you mean, right? I mean, because anything can be an impeachment for right now and for Trump.
Well, many people are saying that this is, but again, this is. I don't, and we're gonna get in. We got some more stories to cover, so we're gonna go through this fast. This actually kind of ties into what else we were gonna talk about. I mean, this kind of proves to what we were saying about all the moderate Republicans here. They don't know what's really going on within the party. It is not a Republican party anymore. It is the Trumpian occult. And they need to get with the program. Because the reason this guy thinks that Trump's going to get impeached is the key motivation is because, that Roy Moore is going to win. And Trump endorsed him. And Roy Moore is going to get in trouble because the allegations are going to get proven true. So he thinks that's going to be what makes people go, oh my God, that's it! That's it! Get him out of there!
Their final endgame piece.
Yeah, that's it. Like, could you imagine if that was literally the endgame, was Roy Moore winning the season? Like, that's it. We got to impeach Trump now. So, let's move on a little bit to, let's see here. What do we got? Let's move on to a little closer to home here. Sorry about that. Mr. Jeff Flake.
Oh, Jeffy.
Yep. Let me just get it going here. So.
Hello, my name is Jeffy, and I like to eat apples.
So, yeah, Senator Flake here. I don't know if you guys heard about this. He actually is talking. He's been on a rampage right now, I guess you could say. Whatever a Flake rampage could be, I guess. Yeah. About how Roy Moore is going to destroy the Republican Party if he wins. Okay, let me start by saying this, Jeff. We're sending this piece out to you because we know exactly. Exactly. I want to play this again just because I like it so much. Hold on.
Hello, my name is Jeffy, and I like to eat apples.
So I have to play because I want you to hear this, Jeff. So, Jeff, I just want to say now, we don't support you, but we understand. We understand right now that you're sitting there in your congressional seat and it is burning down around you because you're like, what is going on? Why do they hate me so bad? And we told you, Jeff, because you don't kiss Trump's ass. And you know what? I think you finally figured that out. Yeah. And we're proud of you. So, I like this whole rogue thing you've been doing now, even though, and this is, I'm going to hit you, I'm going to give you a little slap in the face, Jeff, because let's just talk, let's just have this conversation, just listen, Jeff. So, first of all, you created this. I remember when Jeffy was the most right-winger around. Everyone was like, oh, that Jeff Flake, man, he's a right-winger. I mean, he's going to fight for the GOP, he's going to fight for that, those taxes and everything, but it's just like, that's not enough. It really wasn't enough, huh, Jeffy? Wasn't that for you to be like, yeah, I'm like the other Republicans. I take the big donor money. You know, I put in draconian law. I don't like immigrants, but it's like, I just don't kiss Trump's ass. And look where it got you.
That one thing.
You know, I wish I had some Western music. I actually forgot to bring that in the show today because I wanted to do a little. It's like he's a man who is driven by a cause to be a moderate Republican, and he stood up against another man. And we get that clip. It's like, I'm the other U.S. Senator from Arizona, the one that wasn't captured. It's like, and then what happened? Boom! Exiled.
I once was part of the Republican Party once. And look at the guy at the end of the bar. But I didn't kiss the mayor's ass, and it was Trump.
Trump. Yep. That's what happened. That's what happened. That's what happened.
I mean, but seriously,
that's what happened. And see, I really do challenge any if we do have any Republican listeners to seriously give us a comment. Why do you not like Jeff Flake? I mean, he's just like Donald Trump. He votes 95% of the time with him. But anyway, back to this whole rogue behavior. So, after he's been saying Roy Moore is going to destroy the Republican Party, even though Jeff Flake has his hand in that too, he wrote Doug Jones a freaking campaign contribution check.
Really?
Yeah, and he took a picture of it on Twitter. Wow. And I think Jeff Flake has actually doubled his Twitter following just because of the hate that gets followed on this guy. I mean, dude, he can't even make a tweet anymore about people jumping on him like, oh, MAGA, MAGA. I mean, you get so many of the Trump trolls now on his page, it's hilarious. So, Jeffy, we're just going to say, like, we don't support you, but we understand. Because we're just like you in this red state now. That's why I think you should come on the show, Jeffy, because you're just like us.
It's like seeing that crying guy. You don't want to console him, but you put your arm over his shoulder.
It's like, hey, Jeffy, it's like, you come join the cool guys. I mean, we're that other liberal show in Arizona, We're that other liberal show. You can come on our show, Jeffy. Yeah. It's okay, because you won't, we'll make fun of you, but...
Jeff, are you tired of getting beaten down? Are you tired of the hate?
And again, I'm just going to say, Jeffy, we don't support you, but we understand.
We understand your pain.
We understand it. We understand that you're not a true conservative. You're not part of the Trumpian cult.
But I am, though.
Yeah, bastard. Anyway, alright, guys, so let's talk about the main topic tonight. And the one we were breaking first that we're going to keep talking about, Russia. Russia. So there's been so many new developments. And we've actually stepped away from the story a little bit because that was actually what our show was becoming consumed about for a while there, is because it seemed like every single day was a prediction that we made coming true. So let's have a little recap here. And if any of you want to listen to our old shows, you can actually check it out on our Twitter page. We actually put together a little compilation of all of our Russia episodes. So you can see all the predictions that we've made and how we were right.
And how they came true.
A lot of them, yes, all of them came true. From Paul Manafort to Michael Flynn, even Jared Kushner now is in the crosshairs of what we've been saying. So let's go ahead and kick it off here, Steve. So let's say, what were we right about first? We said Paul Manafort. We had said there was enough that they were going to bring down Paul Manafort first. That was one of the biggest things.
That was one of the things that we said him first.
Yeah, we said him first. But the biggest one was Mike Flynn. So we actually said, it was, I want to say 2 shows ago, that they had enough charges to bring it down on Mike Flynn. And now he's taking a plea bargain with Robert Mueller in the investigation. Yeah. I mean, right now what it's looking like is that Trump's going to get obstruction of justice because of that the tweet he sent out, first of all, and now they're saying that was his lawyer who tweeted that out.
Like, this lawyer told him to tweet it out.
How?
Dude,
what?
Yeah.
When does personal responsibility start and begin? I mean, literally, that seems like the biggest fucking, as I may say, trump card I've ever fucking heard. I mean, it's like if I got a message from you, Steve, and it was just like, hey, fuck you, and you're like, oh, I didn't send that. That was mine. That was my dad.
Rob, it was hacked. Someone hacked me.
Oh, I'd understand that, but it's serious. That's like,
if I just flat out lie, I mean, dude, this is serious. We're getting in. Is this like literally an episode of the First 48? Where it's just like that guy's like, I'm not telling you anything. Then after the commercial break, he's like, all right, I'll tell you everything.
I don't know.
I mean, it's at that point, dude. It's like he's taking a plea bargain. I didn't even call it that. We called it on the show.
We said, yeah, he was going to get flipped. Yeah,
he's going to get flipped. And I said that if he does get flipped, that will be the end. That would be we saw that was like the domino effect of the.
It is going the domino effect.
Going.
I would not be surprised if Carter Page is next. Carter Page
why not?
Well, what were you going to say, Squid?
Well, I don't know. I think it could be either Carter Page or Jared Kushner.
It's going to be one of those. Probably Jared Kushner faster than Carter Page.
Right, just because, But I don't know. I wouldn't even doubt. I wouldn't say that just because it's Kushner that they're gonna be the next target. It could be Page. To be honest with you, why not?
Little side note, real quick. Did you guys hear about them? Since we're talking about Kushner, everyone calls him a Jew, but no relation to this. Did you guys hear about them trying to move the capital to Jerusalem?
Yeah, I saw that on the news.
What about Jerusalem?
If I'm wrong on this, Squid, please correct me. Okay. So if I'm wrong, because you're the only Bible thumper here, I get so upset whenever I see politicians try to make biblical prophecy come true.
Oh, good Lord.
Why do they try to do this shit? I mean, I'm serious. I'm being, 100% honest. I mean, it does that. Let's just say, they're literally trying to put the capital there. Do what? Make all the Jews come back to Jerusalem or whatever? Is that what they're trying to do? Make it the Jews,
I don't know if it's trying to do that, but it's trying to put that divide in between Israelis and Palestinians.
I get that, but that's
Pakistanis are so
Palestinians.
Palestinians are just so
bitter,
irritated, and bitter about this right now.
Well, they should be.
They should. They are. I mean, you're poking them, man.
Yeah,
first of all, I don't care what we as this show as we said on the show is completely secular when it comes to politics and religion. So I don't care if you make some dumbass argument that the Canaanites were there first and blah blah blah, and so it's the Jews' land and no, it doesn't matter. There are people there. We're all people here. It doesn't matter. Just because you think you can go to somebody's house, kick them out of their house, and be like, hey, 1,000 years ago they said this is my land. No, fuck you. Yeah, I don't give a shit. The Palestinians deserve to be treated the same as the Jews there in Jerusalem. They deserve to be treated exactly the same. But this whole idea of making the capital in Jerusalem and trying to create the divide, it just makes me think: are you trying to make some kind of religious doomsday fucking prophecy come true?
I don't know, nothing though. It's like it always comes in these spades where they feel like, we need this type of thing to happen because it's a moral correction.
But don't you see that it's a biblical thing though? It's like you're trying to start some shit. You're trying to start the apocalypse.
It comes down to prophecy every time. It's like it's a biblical.
It's like, what is wrong with you? It's like, what is wrong with you?
Time for that biblical annihilation of these two factions.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, why would you do that?
But this was another one of Trump's promises he made during the campaign.
He said he was going to make peace between the Palestinians.
But another one of his videos says, we are going to move the capital to Jerusalem.
But you can't go by a guy who's going to change his mind
every 2 seconds.
You can't do that because then they're like, okay, let's do it. You're now creating another, like you said, another Holocaust war. Like, why? Why would you do that?
Even if they're not trying to deliberately do some kind of religious prophecy bullshit, they're just trying to placate to their base.
Yeah.
And that's all it is. And it's just going to get other people hurt. And for the most part, the Republican Party and most people will not care because it's not in your backyard.
Yeah.
You're not going to see this whole divide and these people killing each other over some dumbass religious difference.
It's like, if I don't have to see it, I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. So back to this investigation here. So, I don't know, I want to go around the table here. I mean, I know, Cody, you're new really in politics. I mean, you're kind of here to give us a smile, a wink here, and make some jokes.
Yeah, make everyone feel better.
But, let's go around. I mean, do you guys think this is circling the drain for Trump? Do you think, because did you hear that Mueller, too, also asked for the Deutsche Banks?
Yeah, he did.
He's trying to find out how much.
After the banks, yes.
He's going after the money trail of Donald Trump. He's going to find some interesting things.
He will.
Do you think he has Trump's taxes?
Currently, right now?
Do you think
that's one of the things?
There is a rumor he does.
There's rumors that he does, and he's had it for a while.
That he's had them for a while.
Before the investigation, that's what I've heard.
He
had it, and this is what he had it that was sparking the investigation in the first place. So I don't know if that's true or not. Obviously, it's a rumor. But would you be surprised? I mean, honestly, if at the end he's just like, "Yeah, I've had this the whole time."
I wouldn't be surprised.
All this was me negating what was the inevitable.
So I'm really gonna call it here now. I'm gonna, since we've already called Flynn Manafort We're calling Kushner next. That's our another prediction. Is Kushner will be.
Page.
Or Page and Carter Page. I also think Jeff Sessions is going to go down here. Maybe not anytime soon, but he will go down for lying under oath.
He's going to go. He's like second to last.
And if he doesn't, that is the most biggest hypocrisy ever let go, because this is a guy who tried to impeach a president over a blowjob and who said, I quote, anyone who lies under oath, you need to go.
Right.
You need to go.
And he said that.
This guy has lied under oath I don't know how many times in this last year. I mean, every time he tells a story, I don't recall that. Then there's someone else that's like, oh yeah, he knew.
Yeah, I know. No, he flat out knew.
He flat out knew. And there was even a report that Jeff Sessions said he stopped a meeting between Trump and the Russians because he's like, I don't want to say anything, but I don't recall that'd be good enough for you to do, Mr. President. I don't think that'd be a good idea. Yeah, seriously.
Good.
He's that stupid. So I'm calling Jeff Sessions. I'm also calling,
who's the next domino in this effect right now?
Would you consider Junior going down?
Donald Trump, he's already going to go down.
No, he's already in trouble. He's in trouble.
He's in trouble.
He's like, they can get him at will right now, but they're just waiting.
Well, today on Wednesday, he actually had a closed-door meeting in Washington. Like, I think Mueller met him, and I know Kushner was there, too, to talk to him. And they released a lot of stuff saying that, oh, yes, Junior met with him, and the only reason he was there to meet that Russian lawyer was to get dirt on...
it doesn't matter. You're not allowed to do that with foreign aid. I mean, God, for those people who don't know, you can get opposition research. A Democrat can do opposition research on a Republican. However, you cannot go to another country and be like, yeah, hey, can you give me some dirt on my opponent?
Right, yeah, behind closed doors, hush-hush. You can't do that, first of all, and... Again, that's just another...
I mean, we've done this kind of episode before, but I kind of feel like we are repeating a little bit here, but what about Roger Stone? I think Roger Stone's going to get in trouble, too. Roger Stone, as if no one knows, he's actually linked to Guccifer. He was the one that actually got the hacked emails from him. And he actually, as he says, the timing was, coincidental, but as he, said, oh, you're going to find out some things next week. These emails came out next week. So he obviously knew.
I think he's going to go down about the same time Sessions goes
down.
I
think that people are finally starting to see what we have been seeing on the show for a while, which is the bad, obvious movie of a pattern of,
classic mobster movie.
Classic, yeah, dude.
They go down one by one at the end, and it usually leaves with the mob boss either,
casino style.
Yeah, casino style. I mean, to be honest with you, is it really? It's kind of like that, where you have the inside guy, Henry from the movie, rats on his people, and they all fall down, dude. They're all connected. They're like a chain link.
You think Jeff Sessions is gonna pull like a?
I think
he's gonna pull like the Murray guy from the end of the casino, and he just has a heart attack right there. He's like, "Oh, thank you for this book, Mr. Sessions. Those are my mother's books. Those are my mother's books."
To be honest, I think he's already playing that, right? I don't recall.
And then he's like, "I don't recall." Now that. Wow! This just came to light to me. I think Jeff Sessions is guilty as shit now, because because this is a guy who says I don't recall a damn thing, yet I'm recusing myself from the whole thing. So now that I think about it, it actually makes sense why he'd be like, "Yeah, I don't recall any of that because I don't want to be involved."
I don't remember that. Dude, I'm telling you, the next time that they're gonna start questioning him, he's gonna be wheeled in with a wheelchair with like the oxygen tank. He doesn't recall anything. We're gonna have to call this. They're all going
probably, man. So I don't know. I mean, how much longer do you think this is gonna take? Because they're saying that this investigation is gonna the Trump administration is saying this investigation is wrapping up soon.
Yeah, of course.
So do you think Donald's packing his bags?
Donald Trump is like, first of all, he already had one foot out of the door. I've said that when the investigation started. He's at the back of the line. So he's kind of like, hey, guys, hey,
reaching for the door.
Reaching behind the door. Go get him, guys.
Oh, my God. It's going to be like, when they come for him, it's going to be like, remember when he was signing that thing for net neutrality and he didn't do anything? He just kind of walked out of the room. They didn't answer no question. He's just silent. Even Mike Pence was like, the fuck you doing? Like, we gotta sign this. And he's like, no, I'm not doing that. He literally did that. He like walked out the door and was like, no, I'm not fucking signing
and
that.
people were just like, did he just not say it? Did he just get up and not
And
sign
Mike Pence is like, well, thanks for coming, everybody.
Mike Pence actually was like, ushering him back, like he should come back. I think it could be.
Also, too, Mike Pence, that's another revelation that's coming out, is did he know about all this?
Oh, my God.
Because some people are saying...
I had to know.
I agree. I think Mike Pence knew. Well, he is a pilgrim.
He's a pilgrim, and the guy is squarer than the damn block itself. The guy, like, I read an article, it has nothing to do with what's going on, but the guy, like, ratted out on his own frat brothers for having a keg in like one of their parties.
Mike Pence?
Mike Pence, bro. Like,
wow.
He's one of those dudes where he's a squealer, man. He's gonna squeal like a little pig.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
And he's that type of guy, so if he knew anything...
He's the type of guy that needs his ass whooped. That's what it is. He's the type of guy that they were like, oh, okay, Mike. Mikey, you brought us out, huh? Bust some heads, man.
Yeah, dude.
How dare you ruin the party?
He's not that strong. He's not
wow.
that guy, guys.
He's the guy that got the swirlies
He's
now.
the guy...
He's the guy that got the swirlies, yeah.
When he spills the beans, he's spilling all the beans, and he doesn't know anything. They don't trust him enough. He's the guy that give him like a little Nerf gun and go, hey,
I'm going to still say it, and I think we'll end the show with this. I still say Mike Pence is the Republican trump card. Because I think out of everything in this investigation, I'm calling this now, they will protect Mike Pence the most. Because they will not lose the power that they have. I mean, we've said this before on the show. The Republicans will not relinquish the power they have. They have the House, they have the Congress, they have the President that will sign anything they want. They're getting ready to get their tax plan done. I mean, they've gotten everything they've wanted. I mean, they've had some trip-ups, they've had some faults, but when they can get it up to Trump, I mean, he just signs it. No matter what. Now, Pence, he's just a quiet version of Trump.
I mean, like, he's going to do it, but you're just never going to know what he's saying. He's not going to be on Twitter doing his back.
No, that's what I'm saying. He's a worse Donald Trump.
Yeah.
He's the quiet version.
He's going to be like,
he's not outspoken and crazy, but he is crazy. Mike Pence is crazy.
He's crazy. He's just a quiet
He calls
crazy.
his wife Mom.
Really?
You didn't hear about this?
No
way.
You guys didn't hear about this stuff?
No.
He said it on camera.
Yeah, Mike Pence. What you're gonna have to help me out a little bit, Steve, because I'm not 100% sure on the story. So apparently, the story is that he calls his mother. He calls his wife Mom. He won't go anywhere. He won't drink, without his wife.
Well,
and he will not drink around any other women.
Well, he's not allowed to drink.
Yes.
He said without his wife.
Yes.
He won't drink around women.
Yeah.
With his wife present.
Isn't there like she won't eat or something like that?
No, he won't eat certain bad foods if his wife isn't there. Like, so he kind of asks his wife for permission. He asks.
Yeah.
Now that's an old Southern thing that they
Weirdo.
used to call their wives moms. But yeah, he does. He'll be like, yeah, I gotta wait for my mom.
That's
he didn't say for my
weird.
mom. He just say I gotta wait for mom. Like he just.
I know like some of them say mother. I mean, I know like some Southern people.
I don't know about mother. I know.
Gotta wait for Pappy.
Yeah, like he's got his mother and he's got his mom. They go, like,
That's so creepy. But anyway, like I'm saying though, I just think the GOP, they're gonna protect Mike Pence no matter what, because they won't. Let's just say it all. Like we've said, Donald Trump's a black hole for the Republican Party. So once he goes, it's gonna suck the whole party down into it. But Mike Pence is still there to carry on business as usual.
Shiny new robot they forgot to plug in, and when that black hole gets sucked up,
they're gonna plug him in.
They're gonna plug him in, and that's gonna save their face because they could just hide.
The GOP will protect Mike Pence. I think they will. I think we're gonna hear that more and more, because as more of this investigation rolls on and more things get uncovered, you're gonna start seeing the more of, well, don't blame poor Mike Pence. Mike Pence didn't know. Mike Pence had no idea. All these people were acting rogue. I mean, even Trump did some bad things, but Mike Pence didn't know.
Dude, they'll throw. First of all, they're going to do the diversion technique, which they do so much.
Hopefully, it's not with the war.
No, seriously, they will. When he goes down, if and when Donald J. Trump goes down and Pence is in office, they're going to blame it on Trump, apparently. Why not?
All the
world.
woes.
Like, oh my God, it was him.
It was him that brought us down to this darkness.
Oh yeah, they're not going down with him. They're going to do whatever they can to stay afloat, and when they do, they're going to blame it on the guy who's down.
All right, so that's going to be tonight's show. You're listening to the Minutemen. I'm your host, CT Rob, with CT Steve.
Yep.
Kobe Cope,
Hey, have a good night.
and the Squid.
We'll see you guys later.
Alright, have a good night, guys.